days, nearly all of retail has been besieged by the internet. You can order just about everything online: food, toilet paper, clothing, you name it. But there's one part of retail that seems curiously invulnerable to this trend. My favorites, the dollar stores. Surf the web as much as you want. It's been very hard to find the kind of deals offered at Dollar General or even, for Five Below from the comfort of your couch. That is until now. Enter Hollar, the privately held company that's become the first online dollar store, offering thousands of products for as little as $1, although some of it goes for $2, and the highest end stuff costs about $10. In a world where nobody likes to go shopping anymore, and customers desperately want bargains, I think Hollar may have found itself a terrific niche here. So let's go off the tape, not a publicly traded company, with David Yom. He's the co-founder and CEO of Hollar, to learn more about where his business is headed. Mr. Yom, welcome to Mad Money. Good to see you, sir.
Jim,
have
great
a seat.
to be here. Thank you.
Terrific. All right, so I was looking over your prices, and I'm kind of astonished. I mean, this unicorn, which I figure would be about $15, $20, okay, is $2. Spinners, which everybody knows is very hard to get, you have very reasonable prices on. How can you get the prices that the big guys can't get?
So, we at first it starts with people. I mean, and, we have such an incredibly talented merch team, and, we're situated.
And it's all out west, those people.
Oh, yes, and we have been just pounding the pavement, working with amazing suppliers, and sourcing just unbelievable products.
Now, is it machine learning algorithmic about what people want, or is it just time? It's just up here.
No, you make a great point. This type of retail just hasn't been available online because how do you replicate the magic of going to, that whole treasure hunt experience of going to these stores? And so it takes a lot of that machine learning, the technology to, present an amazing, personalized experience that's relevant to the customer.
Okay, now I've got a fabulous Dollar Tree near me, and I go there, and everybody knows I've gone. They have great bargains in candy. You've got these are a little cheaper. But let's say Dollar Tree's watching this segment, and they're saying, you know what? That guy, David, he thinks he's a hot guy. We are going to be Hollar Rooney, and we're going to come after him. I mean, what do you do?
This is such a massive, massive industry. We couldn't have built this business 5 years ago. A lot has changed, and the mobile adoption has really changed and made this now business feasible. And so, also with the recession from '08, that has changed the consumer mindset.
So you think there's room?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're talking about a business and a type of retail that 80 million Americans shop every year.
Well, that's what I wanted to ask you. Who is your average shopper?
It is the millennial mom in middle America. We are chasing after a unique but massive consumer group that really has been underserved for a long time.
Well, I mean, it's odd. I know people in the East may think there's lots of dollar stores, but there aren't enough to serve the communities around this country.
There is a transformative shift happening in retail, as you know. I mean, a lot of store closing, a lot of headwinds amongst a lot of traditional retailers. But, you mentioned Dollar General opening up 1,000 stores this year. Five Below opening up, stores
Five
West
Below
Coast,
has a blueprint to open up so many stores that there's a lot of room for anyone else in that category.
Every day, there are about $5 stores that open up.
Wow,
I mean, it's just truly amazing. So,
okay, so now people are going to say, well, wait a second. Aren't I going to lose on the shipping and handling? Like, they'll see those ads on TV, and it's like, hey, get this, and then buy one of this. Next thing you know, the shipping and handling costs a lot. Are they getting eaten alive on that?
Here's the thing about our business. On average, there's about 10 items in a given order.
Okay.
And so our average order size is actually more than $30, because when you go to one of these dollar stores, when everything's a great deal, people just load up. And despite, having 10 items in a given box, the weight is actually not that bad, so it makes the shipping very feasible.
Now, I like the story. You're a private company, so you don't have to reveal numbers, but just tell us about your growth in some reasonable terms so that people could say, wow, you know what, I'm making note of that. If they ever want to come public, I've got that in my mind.
This is one of the fastest growing segment in all of retail, and despite what's going on in the retail landscape, so our growth has just been amazing, given that we've only really been in business for less than 2 years. And so, we feel fortunate because we're riding really macro trend that's happening.
Well, I mean, one of the things, you have a West Coast distribution. I mean, one of these is like Five Below, very smart about distribution centers. I mean, if you're going to do all this CPG, this consumer packaged goods stuff, you're going to have to be all more than just one place, right? I mean,
Yes.
do you have plans to expand over in the East?
We do, and so we're already working on that. So
And
right
these
now,
venture capitalists, I know, because you've got very good backers, Kleiner Perkins, very smart company.
Yes.
They're in on this, right?
because they believe in the opportunity and just how massive of a space this is. And so we know that, also, because there's really two things working in retail right now, and that's online and off-price, and we're doing both. And we're chasing after a consumer group, really middle America millennials, that's really been underserved.
All right, last question. Do you like to go to dollar stores like I do?
I've been going to it my whole life.
Aren't they fun?
I grew up in East LA, modest beginnings.
Just
and so
the
this
greatest,
is,
aren't they?
it
My
is.
dad
It's
and I
so-
would go
so
get
fun.
readers, then we'd
I
get
now take my two
sunglasses in the
kids. Yep.
candy aisle, and they got the cowtails for well, anyway, a little off the topic, but I like your idea. This is David Youm. He's the co-founder and CEO of Hollar. Check the site out. They got a lot of stuff for a lot less than you would think. Stay with Cramer. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.